Hi guys, welcome to the Food and Travel Diaries. So as promised in the last video, I'm here today to share my experience on the trek to the double-decker living root bridge in Cherrapunjee. There are some journeys in everyone's life which are very difficult to forget, and this one was easily one of them for me. So yeah, I'm very excited to share the details with you. So let's get started. Okay, so we were staying in Shillong and we decided to do a day trip. You can also stay in Cherrapunjee. There are a couple of resorts there as well, and it makes things easier. Remember that if you're staying in Shillong, you start really early. We started at around 8 and that was a mistake. I'll tell you a little about it a little later. We hired a bike, and that's probably the most amazing way to make this trip because the journey is just beautiful. Alternatively, you can also hire a car, rent a car and go there. As you can see, there was a lot of traffic while you were exiting Shillong, but once you're out of Shillong, the drive is just lovely. You find quaint little villages on both the sides of the road and lovely lush green mountains around. You'll definitely want to stop by at a couple of places and spend some time, so factor that in if you're making that trip from Shillong. And after a point, once you're approaching Cherrapunjee, you'll actually feel as if you're driving through the clouds, and the feeling is just amazing. And once you reach Cherrapunjee, because this place is a little ahead of Cherrapunjee, around 12 odd kilometers, you will have to look out for the signboards. We missed our signboard and went a little ahead. We don't regret it because again the drive was just amazing. But yeah, that ate up a lot of time of ours. And finally we ended up reaching the Cherrapunjee resort, which was like 5 kilometers ahead of the place from where actually we were supposed to take a turn. So we decided to eat here because it was already 12:30, and then head to the Tirna village where we parked our bike and finally started our trek at 1 o'clock. There's a small shop at the beginning of the forest. We left all our belongings, bag, helmet, everything there, which was a very wise thing to do. We paid him $50 to take care of it because otherwise it would have been really difficult to do the trek with it. As you can see, the initial part of the forest was quite on a plain terrain, and the lovely woods, the amazing weather because of February, the chirping birds, everything just complemented the entire setting. And that's when we thought that this trek is not going to be as difficult as we thought it will be. But guess what? We spoke too soon. So in no time, the steps start getting a little steep. And as you can see, the size of the steps is also very small. And hence you really have to put your body weight on your feet every time you are transcending, and that takes a toll on your knees in some time. And that's for the first time that we realized that climbing down can be a task as well. But nevertheless, with this surroundings and this weather, who would not want to take that extra pain? So yeah, not complaining. So when we got a little bored of climbing down the stairs, and we started thinking that probably this trek is going to be a little boring with thousands and thousands of steps, we were proven wrong, and then started probably some of the most beautiful and scenic stretches of the entire journey. So in the forest there are a lot of streams, and the villagers have built suspension bridges with iron rods and wood and metal to help people cross these streams. They are like hanging bridges and they are obviously a little shaky, so kind of walking through these bridges is an experience in itself. And not to forget the crystal clear water that you see below these bridges is just wonderful. A lot of people were actually stopping by and taking a dip in this as well. But since we were late, we decided to just head forward. So on the entire journey, you will find a number of beautiful creatures and butterflies, and that will make the journey a little more enjoyable. Or halfway through the trek, you'll find a detour for a single-decker living root bridge, but we didn't really head there. We directly went to the double-decker bridge, and finally, after 1.5 hours, we managed to reach there. And as soon as we reached there, we were just floored by the entire setting. It looked like a scene directly out of some amazing 3D movie. But it was for real. It was a lovely, lovely place. And trust me guys, the camera is not doing any justice to the actual place or the setting. You have to be there to kind of understand what I'm saying. But I've tried my best to capture whatever I could. Just to give you a background, basically people from these villages, which was the Khasi tribes, years ago discovered these trees which had aerial roots, and they very smartly decided to grow these trees on either sides of the streams wherever there were streams in the forests. And over the years, the roots of these trees grew on either side of the streams, and they supported it with wood and other material, and probably over decades this resulted into a living root bridge. And as you can see, this is a double-decker one, and probably there's a third decker coming in. So yeah, it must have taken decades for this to kind of reach from one end to the other end. And it's just an amazing marvel and an amazing example of organic engineering. Underneath the double-decker living root bridge, there is a small pond of water. I'm not too sure if I can call it a pond because it's actually flowing water, but it flows at a very slow pace, and obviously there are small waterfalls through which the water actually, fresh water keeps on coming to this area, and this water is crystal clear and amazingly clean. You can actually see till the bottom of the pond, and you can see a lot of fish inside as well. And the temperature of this water was just perfect. It was perfectly chilled, and you can actually spend some time here, dip your feet into the water, and it's definitely going to refresh you, rejuvenate you, and you will absolutely forget the entire tiredness from the journey, I promise. And you should definitely keep at least like an hour and a half that you can spend here. You will absolutely love this place. So finally, almost after spending 1.5 hours here, we felt extremely rejuvenated. We filled our stomachs with the snacks that we had got, and we also realized that we were getting really late. We really didn't want to leave, but had to. There are a couple of cottages or huts also here where the villagers allow you to stay by paying 100 odd rupees. So in case you want, you can stay overnight here actually, but we had to get back to Shillong. The journey back was all the more tiring. It was a climb up, and it took us 2.5 to 3 hours, and we had to get back to Shillong from there. So by the time we reached Shillong, it was really late in the night. Our feet were aching. The calf muscles kept on aching for a few days after the journey, but that only reminded us of how beautiful the entire setting, the entire place was. Anyone who's visiting Northeast India should definitely plan a trek to this place, and It is a World Heritage Site. It is the only site of this kind. Nowhere else in the world have people built bridges out of the roots of the trees, and actually living roots. They are not dead roots. So please don't miss this bit if you're visiting Assam and Meghalaya anytime in future. I hope you guys enjoyed this entire video. Do give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Do subscribe to my channel. And my next video is going to be about the Kaziranga experience. So stay tuned for it.